Scott Hilton here, Scott Talks. We're going to talk about a movie, Netflix. I know there are 100,000 Netflix movies, and they're mostly, but watch Carry On right before going on a plane trip the next day. Yeah, it's like watching Jaws before going to the beach, right? I was like, oh no, you see a little black suitcase with a red ribbon on it, run. That's what, yeah. Carry On's pretty good. Charlton Egerton, I think his name is the star. And he did a good job. I mean, he's one of the guys up for the James Bond role. And all these Bond role actors want to do action adventure stuff to show the producers, I can do it. I'm one of those guys. I mean, look at some of the history of some of these Bonds. There's Roger Moore was the Saint on TV, kind of a spy Bond knockoff type show. There's Pierce Brosnan was Remington Steele, kind of suave English guy. They all have these little backgrounds. Daniel Craig was in the Tomb Raider movie, big action adventure movie, working alongside Angelina Jolie. I mean, you got to show him you can do action adventure, and he does it. He even does the Tom Cruise run with the, the arms flaring. I thought it was a pretty good movie, especially for Netflix. Netflix usually has iffy movies. They make them quick, throw them out there, and show, look at all the new stuff we have on Netflix. This is our #1 movie this week. Well, of course, it's brand new. Everyone watched it and went, yeah. But Carry On's neat. One, it's a Christmas movie. Yes, I count it as a Christmas movie because it took place at Christmas time, just like Die Hard and First Blood. Rambo, First Blood. Look in the background of the police station, you can see the little Christmas tree. Yeah, Christmas movie. Cool. You're like, you're pushing it, Scott. Yeah, no. But it's neat. I mean, I asked the girl at TSA, pre-check. I said, you see it? She goes, yeah, it wasn't accurate at all, but it was all right. And I said, yeah, it was. And there every movie out there, it's like goes back to when Spielberg was doing Jaws. In the book, the shark died. It just, after all the abuse it took, Roy Scheider's character shooting it with the gun or whatever happened to it, it finally just swimming up to him, getting ready to get him. He's in the water and it dies. And that's the ending. And you're like, and Schreider, I think, is the only, Roy Scheider's character, the sheriff, he's the only survivor. And it's like, huh. And Spielberg's like, no, that ain't how I'm ending my movie. I'm going to do it more dramatic. I'm going to blow the shark up with a compressed air tank. And someone pointed out to him, compressed air doesn't blow up. It's air. And, you hear the liquid, the oxygen, it's what makes the rockets for NASA go get fiery, blow up. And you're like, oxygen? And you're like, no, it's different. It's different. And Mythbusters even proved it with exact tanks like they were using on the Jaws thing, fired a rifle into it in a controlled space, and the whole tank took off like a rocket because it was compressed air. It was tight in there, that little can, and as soon as it had a little opening, just like a rocket, it started shooting that air out like a rocket. Just air, but it was under such pressure. And that tank flew all over that building that they had the camera in. It didn't blow up, it just took off. And that could have killed a shark. If you got the tank in its mouth and shot it, that tank would have gone down his throat and killed it. That would have worked. But no, he wanted to blow it up and have pieces of it flying everywhere. And he established in the movie about halfway, be careful with those tanks. They'll blow up if you screw around with them. And that's all he had to do. Little liberty. And all movies are like that. They all have to take liberties to get stories to go around. People complaining about Armageddon, scientists, they're always complaining about something. And they're trying to tell a story. It's art. So you're trying to tell a story. Armageddon, people are like, well, the pieces on the asteroid would drop really slow with the reduced gravity. You're like, yeah, but we got to tell a story. So they got to drop a little faster. It'd be too boring to have him floating down. So, and the fact that they blew up the asteroid drilling that particular depth and that big of an object, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist, joked that it was no more than a human head, and the follicle of your head, the little root where your hair is, they went down about that far. Nothing. That was nothing compared to the size of that asteroid, and put the nuclear bomb in it. But you know, it was still cool. You get rid of the science, it complicates stories, and makes for great action adventure. And that's what it's all about, enjoying the movie. And I enjoyed Carry On. And Charlton, you know, he did a good job. He was in the gym, he worked out a lot, got a little beef to him. He's not the tallest actor in the world. If they cast him, they'll have to do like Pierce. They had some shorter girls in the thing, except for one girl that was in X-Men, was rather tall, but she had to wrap her legs around people and crush them, so she had to be a little tall. But that's what they'll do, you know. You get your star, then you build a cast around them, and you can't have them too big and tall. Did the same thing on the TV show Get Smart. Don Adams was the star. Barbara Feldon get cast as his partner in 99, and she's rather tall. And there's certain scenes you can see where he's almost as tall as her because they got him standing on a box. But then in other scenes where they're moving around, they just, yay. You can tell he's shorter. You know, it's just the way it is. So Carry On was good. I liked it. It was a great little action adventure. You know, you had to suspend some parts of logic and reality every once in a while. I mean, he was relying on too much. The bad guy would happen and this would all fall into place. And I was like, the first scene, I was like, there was an earpiece and he got a text that said, put it in your ear. And he was like, what? I'd have tossed the thing in the trash. I wouldn't have been on my phone anyway. I've been busy working. I'm not gonna lose my job playing with my phone. You know, little things like that it got to me. But it's all right. It's all right. It makes for a good movie. And that's just me. And, you know, you would have probably gone, let me put it in my ear, see what's going on. Oh, I got to do all this stuff, or else someone will die. Yeah, that's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. So you'll like it. I mean, if for a Netflix movie, you'll like it. It's pretty good. And I recommend it. I highly recommend it. A lot of shows and movies on Netflix just aren't that great. It's odd to get a high quality thing. They just throw everything at the wall and hope something sticks. You know, they throw 100 shows and movies at the wall and stuff starts sliding and oozing down, and you say, look how high that one stuck. You know, let's push that one a little bit more. And this is a good push for them. This is done really well for Netflix. So, not sure how they would do a sequel, but you know, there could be another one. You could have a different airport, different people, or you could get Charlton back again and have some reason for it all happening again. That'd be interesting. It's like Chris Hemsworth. He was in that movie that was really good. I think it was on Netflix. And they made a sequel, and they implied he died at the end of the first one. You know, they're like, yeah, but he really lived, so we could do a sequel. So that's what you do. Dang, man, you got money in the bank. Everybody watched the movie, and they were like, this is pretty damn good. So, yes, watch Carry On. Put it on your list when you're through watching the second season of Squid Game, if you missed it. This was a Christmas movie. You need to watch it during the holidays, and definitely before an airplane flight. That's the time to watch it. That's when we did. And my wife was just rolling her eyes like, oh my gosh, we're watching this before the flight. I said, yep, that's it. That's it, baby. So you enjoy it. And we'll talk another time.